Hi, good morning and welcome back to Homespun in Wales. My name is Dawn and this is vlog number 7, craft vlog number 7 I believe. So with all your encouragement I am continuing with the videos. So let's update you on what's been going on. As you know, I'm working through my January box of unfinished projects and well, works in progress and unfinished projects. But as you can see on my back wall here, this is the Mandy quilt and it is now all quilted. I've had it on the long arm, so it's all been quilted, no binding because it is going to get cut up and turned into a jacket. And whoops, bit of vibration there. And I call it the Mandy quilt because my best friend, my sewing buddy Mandy, who lives over the other side of the country, she did all the patchwork, putting all the blocks together, etc. And then she gifted it to me with the backing fabric one Christmas and for me to quilt. And I think it was about 2 years ago we did that. So I used a popcorn pattern from Creative Stitches, I believe it was, and I did say to her I intend turning it into a jacket rather than having it as a quilt on the bed. She was fine with that because I'd get a lot more use from a jacket. So that's the plan for that. I have got a couple of jacket patterns. I haven't looked through them yet because I don't want to get distracted from what I'm doing this month. There was enough of the backing fabric left over. Let me just grab it. It's all been trimmed up, so I've got enough of the backing fabric there. It's just a very pale, I don't even know if you can see it that well. Put a bit of wadding behind it, you might see it better. Very pale turquoisey, like a cloud, a flowery cloud pattern. But I've got enough of that from the trimmings to be able to do some binding around the jacket. And then once I've got it all cut out, any bits that are left will be turned into notebook covers and bags, etc, etc. So none of it will get wasted. So that's that project done. So that is, let me see what we got done. We did the first hummingbird cross stitch, then there was the hand embroidered quilt from Le Jardin. There is this, that's number 3, and of course the cross stitch, the big 34-year-old cross stitch. Let me update you on that. Right, here it is so far. So all I've got left, I've done most of the heron. I've been working on this border down here. I've been working on some of the vegetation down the bottom, and I've just started working on the otter here. So there's an otter down the bottom and a big butterfly, and then it is just border. So it's nearly there, nearly there. And yeah, so I'm quite pleased with how that's coming on. A little bit of the heron left to do. But of course we've only got a week now of this month, but I think I will continue with that because there'll be such a small amount to finish, and after 34 years it deserved to be finished. And of course what else was in the box was the Heirloom quilt, the bolster cushion to go with the Heirloom quilt. Right, project number 4 from my January box, unfinished. Is it number 4? 1, 2, 3, yeah, number 4 of the unfinished projects is the Heirloom pillow. This is from the book by Pauline Innerson, and I bought the kit, which gives you the opportunity to practice some of the techniques used to make the quilt. This is the quilt. And this is the book, Heirloom quilt. So I got this cushion, which does this bolster cushion. I got this kit that does this bolster, cushion, pillow, whatever you want to call it. And I started it, got up to step number 8, and then it got put away. A lot of these things got put away when we moved, and they've just never come out since. So anyway, I'm up to number 9 now, which is doing what's it called, cording or couching, whatever you want to call it. This is the cording foot. You can see that it's got these little holes in the front. This is a 5 cord foot. You can get a 3 and a 5 and a 7. So this is a 5. Now these threads have to be threaded through the foot, through these little holes. And I'm going to use a needle threader to do it. And it's fairly simple. You just put your needle threader in, just like threading a needle. Put your bit of cord in, and you'll repeat this for all the holes. Pull it through, she says, and I've done that wrong, so let's try again. Right, into a hole. This cord is a DMC stranded cotton that came with the kit. So, and I just cut it all up into equal lengths. And now I can't see where my little wire is. There it is. In we go, like that. Right, and we pull it through. So basically what happens is you have all 5 of them threaded up through the holes, and so when you're stitching along, it will stitch over the cords, holding them down in place. I've done this piece, how well you can see that. And so now I'm just going to do this side. So I'm just going to thread up this foot, get it on the machine, and then I'll bring you along with me while I do the couching. Right, I've got the foot all threaded up here. So we've got the short tails coming out underneath, and they're going to go to the back of the foot. And the long piece that we're going to stitch over is coming to the front. So just need to put that on the machine. I'm using a red thread over the top to make it more decorative, and I'm using, I don't know how well you can see that, I'm using this stitch here. I've made it slightly wider. I did do a bit of a test stitch with it, made it slightly wider so it fits over the cord. So, right, and there's my fabric that I'm going to stitch onto. I've already drawn a bit of a line on the fabric so I know where I'm going. I'll put that underneath. That's all there is to it, and then we just stitch. You don't have to worry about keeping these cords straight, because when they're being fed through the holes here, that is what's guiding them through the other side, so you don't have to worry about twisting or nothing. Right, that's that bit done, and the next step is draw a line between that, and then we're going to do a row of twin needle pin tucks. So I'm going to do that in the next bit of my video, and then it will be a line of decorative stitches here. And then that is the decorative, and the same on the other side of course, then that is the decorative stitching finished. Now all of this, I'd never done anything like this before, and it really did teach me how to use different stitches on the machine and different feet. Now, because this isn't a teaching book, she doesn't go through details of how to do, you know, like the puffing and the faggoting, etc. But this book, I've had this book for quite some time, and it goes through all of the feet, and it's been a real godsend to me at times. So yeah, so I'll see if I can find that book online anywhere, and I'll put a link to it down below. And if I can find this one online, I'll put a link to it down below as well. Hopefully this weekend, this is now Saturday, hopefully this weekend this is going to be finished, and then I'll have it to show you next week. I've also got a bit of video. Oh, we just had a power cut. That's good, isn't it? I have to, is it going to come back on? Is it? Isn't it? We've had a bit of a storm coming through the past. There we go. It's back again. We've had a bit of a high winds and everything the past few days, and inevitably that usually means power cuts to us. So, but there we go. It's back on again. As long as it just stays little ones like that, because I really don't want to fire up the generator. This I did do some video of this on the long arm, so I'll pop them in here. There we go. Not everything is going smoothly with the quilt. Let me just tilt you down a bit there. Right, the first 2/3 of the quilt, which is on the back roll here, already done, is fine. I then, just as I about, or just when I finished that row, yes, between that row and this row, I had the power went off. So I had to reset it all, which was fine because I'd saved the pattern. So started it all up again. On here, because I wanted like a hand quilted look. I know it's machine quilted, but I wanted like a hand quilted look to the jacket. It's about 6 stitches to the inch. And this new part, for some reason, even though it was saved, has reset itself to 10 stitches to the inch. So this is a lot tighter, a very tight quilting. So I am having to slowly unpick it all with my trusty little unpicking tool with the little curved blade. So I'm having to come along and cut all the stitches. So it's a bit of a slow progress because it's working in curves. You know, I've got to follow the pattern round, so just as well it's only this much that's got to be done. But when I flip this back, I also, let me turn you around a bit, discovered I've got a pucker here on the previous row in the wadding, and I don't quite know what to do about that yet. The backing is fine, it is just the wadding here. So I think I might have to do just a little slip in the wadding, just well this is only going to be a jacket and not a bed quilt, and it is for me. If I do a little cut along there, yeah, I've got to take it right along there. I think I'll have to iron on some wadding repair to I'll cut it further down, join it up. Where's my scissors? There they are. Pull that over, and I think I'll use me iron on wadding tape and do a bit of a repair on there, and once it's quilted over it will be fine. So it's not going quite as planned, but and of course it's not far off finished. So right, so I'm going to crack on with this because it's now Saturday morning. This was Thursday I did it. Yesterday I couldn't, I was busy, and so I didn't want to sort of make a start, then have to stop, make a start, stop. Today I've got a free day, so I'm going to unpick this, remove all the loose threads, reset the pattern, and try and do the bit of repair there on the wadding, and try and get this finished quilting so I can choose a jacket pattern. In fact, looking at the wadding there, I might just pull it out and add in an extra little strip there and iron it in. So it's just a bit of a nuisance, but there we go, that is life. Now, yesterday I was out at the machine embroidery group, and we had a whole day of sewing. It's a new group. I think this is my third or my fourth time I've attended, and I've only managed to get to them once a month. They meet up twice a month, but it's about an hour and a half away from me, and trying to work it in with the parents and everything, I've only managed to get away once a month. Hopefully next month I'll get 2 visits in. Anyway, I decided this panel, which is Big Dreams, it's a Hoffman panel, and Stitch Delight have brought out an embroidery design set to go with it. So you stitch out all the individual sections, and I've already done the daisy one, so this is the leaves. I did show it on a previous video. So, and I've got all the centre bit done. So I've decided this is coming with me to the machine embroidery group, because I have space there to work on it as well, and it's a nice big project to do. So yesterday I was doing, what was I doing on it yesterday? Let me see, I've done round 1, round 2, so I was working on round 3. Let me try and show you. So round 3 is these here, and it's all about template placement and stitching out, and I got most of them done, and I think I've just got another 2 to do, then that's that round finished. And then I can start on the next round out, which is that one. I'm doing this one in variegated thread. Yeah, and I'm changing the colour of the variegation as I go through the panel. So that is that's what I was working on yesterday. In a couple of weeks the Welsh Quilt Show is on, so I should be having a day off to go to that. But I am going to a retreat with the machine embroidery group. is it Machine Embroidery Inspirations? I think that's what the group's called. You can find it on Facebook. And but they've got a retreat coming up in March, and I've been lucky enough to get a place on that, and we're going away the Monday to the Friday, so that'll be almost 5 full days sewing. So I'd like to have this finished before then. Then I've got the Rose Big Blooms panel to take, that I could take with me, and I've got a couple of other projects in mind that I might take along as well. So however the mood takes me at the time is what I'll do. I'm rushing through all of this a bit because there's I've got quite a lot to say, and I've got a busy day planned today. Right, the other thing, the block of the week, a year of quilting with Debbie Shaw. I haven't got a block done this week, but I'll try and catch up with 2 blocks next week. But I have started another one, which is a sew along, quilting sew along, and it's from Days Filled with Joy. You can find her on YouTube. I'll pop a link down below. And she's doing this sew along, and it caught my eye because it's an opportunity to use up some of the many fat quarters that I've got. So we had to pick out 9, I think it was 9 fat quarters. I haven't done a video doing the blocks because you can go along to her YouTube channel, support her by watching her. And so I picked out 9. We had to have 4 with a large design on, so I picked out that one, oops, that one, and that one. So that was my 4 with large designs on. And then the other 5 had to be small designs. Now, I've already started assembling them, so I'll just show you the sample bits I got left over. So I got that one, that one, that one, that one. They're all part of the same colour family, the 9 blocks I picked, and that one. And it's there's 3 parts to it, and I believe part 3 came out today, so I haven't seen that yet. I haven't done part 2, so I've got a bit of catching up to do, but I did start doing the blocks. So I got part 1 of the blocks done, and I will pop over onto her channel later on, have a look at part 3. I need to catch up with part 2, which I probably won't get done till tomorrow, and then I can do part 3 hopefully later in the week. And I believe it makes up a lap size quilt. So there we go. So that's the blocks I've got, the first part of the blocks I've got done. You are working more with them blocks as well, so do pop along and have a look. That's Days Filled with Joy, yeah, and perhaps join in and take part. That would be really nice. So that's yeah, it's all been a bit of a very quick run through. So that's basically what's been happening this week. There's been other things going on, of course, which all take up time. And what else have I got to say? Nothing. I haven't bought any quilting supplies, no crafting supplies, nothing. I've been, trying to work on the cross stitch each evening. I don't have time to work on it during the day, so every evening I'm working on that. Right, I'm going to wind up there. I need to get all this put together, edited, and get it uploaded. And I need to crack on with working on the rest of that bolster pillow and get that finished out of the way. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll catch up with you again next week.